Only on 9. Front and center of active shooter training inside a Central Florida school. New for 5:30, we put the training to the test ourselves to see what these officers prepare for.
It's definitely not easy. It's very challenging.
Intense, too. That school where the training took place was closed for spring break today, but inside there was still a lot of activity.
Officers took part in a training that leaders say will prepare their officers for a worst-case scenario. Only Channel 9's Mert Price went through that training with police, and Mert, you found out how challenging it really is.
Yeah, not only did police allow us to go inside this school and report on the training, they allowed me to participate. They gave me a gear and a gun and told me to go after the school threat. Now, as you can see, looking at me, it didn't go so well.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! He's got a gun!
My heart was pounding, and I didn't know what to expect when I went through the doors. The shooter took some shots at me, and I fired back. There were people running and screaming, and some down on the ground pretending to be gunshot victims. I had to decide quickly if those people were victims or bad guys. I knew I needed to get to him, but I didn't know what else was going on and if there were more shooters hiding in the corners or in other classrooms. I had some issues with my gun, and the trainer had to help me. Hearing the gunshots and the screams made this exercise feel so real. Once my gun was working, I went into the room to confront the shooter. Once inside, I opened fire. He fired back, and eventually I was able to take him down, but not before I was shot with the paint bullets about 5 or 6 times. Afterwards, the trainers critiqued me and told me just what I could have done differently.
So you'd have to notice that either prior to or when you went to fire and immediately clear that, or else you're basically running up to this guy with a weapon that's not going to function. Typically, an officer would transition to a pistol or have another weapon they could go to, or they've got to fix that one.
That was really intense hands-on training. Mert, what other advice and instruction did those officers give you after you did that training today?
Well, one of the things they told me is that I should have talked to the people that were running by me. I should have asked how many shooters and where exactly are they located and things like that. But it was so intense because the people are running at you. You don't know if they're a good guy or a bad guy. You don't know whether or not to shoot or not to shoot. And it's one of the things that they say will be difficult if teachers or school personnel are given guns inside schools. They say it'll be tough because they'll be coming in and they're trained to look for a gun. And for me, it was happening so fast, even though it looked like I was moving in slow motion, just trying to figure out where to go and what to do. Those were some of the tips that they gave me, and they said, especially, they said I was moving too slow, going from room to room. They said I should have just sprinted straight to the shooter and engaged him.
Yeah, that's easier said than done, and those were, again, paintballs, not real bullets. But, Mert, that gave all of us a good perspective of what it might be like someday for a teacher to have to do this. That was Mert Price reporting live. You can see the raw video of his full training session. It's on WFTV.com. Thank you for that. The city of Orlando now